For centuries, cavalry dominated the battlefield with speed and maneuverability. Mounted soldiers, armed with swords, lances, and later firearms, were the epitome of military might. Their ability to charge swiftly and strike fear into the hearts of infantry was unparalleled. Cavalry units were often the pride of armies, symbolizing both power and prestige. However, the advent of the tank in the early 20th century revolutionized warfare, rendering traditional cavalry obsolete. These armored vehicles, initially met with skepticism, soon proved their worth on the battlefield. The tank's ability to traverse difficult terrain and provide mobile firepower changed military strategies forever. Tanks, with their tracks and armor, could cross trenches and withstand machine gun fire, providing a much-needed solution to the stalemate of trench warfare. In the muddy, shell-torn landscapes of World War I, tanks became a symbol of hope for breaking the deadlock. Their presence on the battlefield was a game-changer, offering a new way to breach enemy lines. The tank's emergence marked a new era of armored warfare, forever changing the face of battle. No longer were soldiers confined to static positions. The tank allowed for dynamic, mobile engagements. This shift not only altered tactics but also influenced the design and development of future military vehicles. The impact of tanks extended beyond their physical capabilities. They became a crucial element in combined arms operations, working in tandem with infantry, artillery, and air support. This synergy maximized their effectiveness, making them indispensable in modern warfare. The psychological impact of these land ships on enemy morale was equally significant, instilling fear and disrupting defenses. The sight and sound of approaching tanks often led to panic and disarray among enemy troops, undermining their ability to mount a coherent defense. The tank's arrival on the battlefield signaled a departure from traditional warfare, ushering in a new era of mechanized conflict. This mechanization not only transformed how wars were fought, but also how they were perceived, highlighting the increasing importance of technology and innovation in military strategy. The First World War witnessed the horrors of trench warfare, where armies faced each other across heavily fortified lines, resulting in agonizing stalemates. Soldiers lived in appalling conditions, enduring constant shelling, disease, and the ever-present threat of enemy attacks. The trenches stretched for miles, creating a seemingly insurmountable barrier that neither side could effectively breach. The introduction of the tank in 1916 by the British was a response to this tactical impasse. These early tanks were designed to traverse the treacherous no-man's land, crush barbed wire, and provide cover for advancing infantry. The concept was revolutionary, aiming to break the deadlock and restore mobility to the battlefield. Early tanks like the British Mark I were rudimentary and plagued with mechanical issues, but their impact was undeniable. They were slow, cumbersome, and often broke down, yet they instilled fear in the enemy and provided a psychological edge. The sight of these armored behemoths rolling across the battlefield was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The first major tank offensive, the Battle of Cambrai in 1917, demonstrated the tank's potential for breaking through enemy lines. Over 300 tanks were deployed, achieving significant initial success by breaching the Hindenburg Line, a formidable German defensive position. This marked a turning point in military strategy. Although ultimately a tactical stalemate, Cambrai proved that tanks could breach even the most fortified defenses. The battle showcased the tank's ability to support infantry and artillery, paving the way for future developments in armored warfare. The lessons learned from Cambrai were invaluable for subsequent tank designs and tactics. Despite their early limitations, tanks offered a glimmer of hope for breaking the deadlock of trench warfare. They symbolized innovation and the relentless pursuit of victory, changing the dynamics of warfare forever. The tank's evolution continued beyond World War I, shaping the future of military conflicts and becoming a cornerstone of modern armies. World War II witnessed the full potential of tanks unleashed through the German blitzkrieg strategy. This lightning war doctrine relied heavily on the rapid deployment of panzer divisions, spearheaded by tanks like the Panzer IV and the fearsome Tiger. German tank commanders like Heinz Guderian exploited the speed and firepower of tanks to devastating effect, swiftly overwhelming enemy defenses. The blitzkrieg's success in the early years of the war solidified the tank's role as a decisive weapon. The fall of France in 1940, achieved in a matter of weeks, served as a testament to the effectiveness of well-coordinated tank warfare. The Soviet Union responded to the German blitzkrieg by developing its own formidable tank force. Soviet tanks, like the T-34 and the heavy IS-2, proved to be rugged and effective fighting machines. The Eastern Front became a titanic struggle between massive tank armies, with battles like Kursk involving thousands of tanks on both sides. Soviet tank design emphasized practicality and mass production, enabling them to field vast numbers of armored vehicles. The Red Army's relentless armored offensives played a crucial role in turning the tide of the war in Europe. Section 5: Allied armor, American and British contributions to tank warfare. While initially outmatched by German armor, the United States and Great Britain made significant contributions to tank development. The American M4 Sherman, while not as heavily armed as some German counterparts, proved to be reliable and adaptable. The British, pioneers in tank design, produced tanks like the Churchill and the Comet, each with strengths tailored to specific battlefield roles. Allied tank production, coupled with their strategic use in conjunction with air power, proved instrumental in defeating the Axis powers. The liberation of Western Europe and the eventual victory in Europe would have been unthinkable without the contributions of Allied armor. Section 6: Technological advancements from armor to firepower. The evolution of tanks during the World Wars was marked by continuous technological advancements. Early tanks were thinly armored and armed with light cannons, but by the war's end, tanks boasted thicker armor plating, heavier guns, and improved mobility. Innovations in engine design, suspension systems, and communication equipment significantly enhanced tank performance. The development of sloped armor, for instance, significantly increased a tank's ability to deflect enemy projectiles. Similarly, advancements in gunnery optics and fire control systems enhanced accuracy and effectiveness. Section 7: Turning points, key battles defined by tank warfare. Throughout the world wars, numerous battles highlighted the decisive impact of tanks. These armored behemoths, with their thick armor and powerful cannons, revolutionized warfare. They could traverse difficult terrains, break through enemy lines, and provide crucial support to infantry units. The introduction of tanks marked a significant shift from traditional combat methods, emphasizing mechanized warfare and mobility. The Battle of Kursk, the largest tank battle in history, saw German and Soviet armored forces clash in a brutal test of strength. This battle, fought in 1943, was a turning point on the Eastern Front. The German Tiger tanks, known for their formidable firepower and armor, faced off against the Soviet T-34S, which were more maneuverable and easier to produce. The outcome of Kursk not only halted the German advance, but also marked the beginning of a sustained Soviet offensive. The North Africa campaign, a theater characterized by vast desert landscapes, showcased the importance of mobility and tactical deployment of tank formations. In these harsh conditions, tanks had to navigate through sand dunes and withstand extreme temperatures. The British and German forces engaged in a series of cat-and-mouse maneuvers, with tanks playing a pivotal role in both offensive and defensive operations. The ability to quickly reposition and adapt to the fluid battlefield was crucial for success. These battles, along with countless others, demonstrated that the effective use of tanks could dictate the outcome of campaigns and influence the course of the war. Tanks were not just instruments of brute force, they were versatile tools that could be adapted to various combat scenarios, from open fields to urban environments. Their presence on the battlefield often tipped the scales in favor of the side that could best utilize their strengths. The strategic deployment of armored units, combined with air support and infantry cooperation, became a cornerstone of modern military doctrine. This integrated approach, known as combined arms warfare, maximized the strengths of each unit while minimizing their weaknesses. Tanks provided the necessary firepower and protection, while infantry and air units offered flexibility and additional support. This synergy was key to achieving battlefield dominance and has continued to influence military strategies to this day. Section 8. The legacy of tanks shaping modern military doctrine. The legacy of tanks extends far beyond the battlefields of the world wars. Tanks remain a cornerstone of modern armies worldwide, their design and deployment constantly evolving to meet new challenges. The development of main battle tanks equipped with advanced technology represents the culmination of decades of armored warfare experience. Modern tanks incorporate composite armor, sophisticated fire control systems, and potent weaponry, making them formidable weapons platforms. Their role has expanded beyond direct combat to encompass a wider range of missions, including reconnaissance, fire support, and peacekeeping operations. Section 9, Conclusion, Tanks, a permanent fixture in warfare. From their humble beginnings in the trenches of World War I to their continued presence on today's battlefields, tanks have left an undeniable mark on the history of warfare. Their evolution reflects the relentless pace of technological innovation and the constant adaptation of military tactics. As technology continues to advance, the future of tank warfare promises further innovation, ensuring that these steel behemoths remain a force to be reckoned with on the battlefields of the future.